Good morning, friends. In today's class of Managing Change in Organization, we will be continuing with the conflict resolution techniques or strategies. In the previous class, we have studied about two major conflict handling approaches or strategies. One is avoiding or withdrawing. Here, the parties to the conflict try to avoid from the conflict. They don't want to enter into conflict. They don't want to face the opponent. They generally do this because they need more time to think about the conflict, to come up with better arguments, to cool down if the conflict is becoming very aggressive, and to see if it is used for very low level or trivial conflicts. We have also studied about the advantages and various disadvantages of the avoiding or withdrawing conflict handling style. Apart from this, we have also studied another conflict handling approach, that is competing or forcing. Here we see that the parties to conflict are interested in their own satisfaction of their goal and not concerned with the goal of the other party. They want to get satisfaction of their goal at the cost of other parties' expense. It is important when the situation needs quick and decisive action in case of emergencies, but this also is facing a lot of problems because this may worsen the conflict or this may worsen the relationship of the parties in the long run. We also studied the various advantages and disadvantages attached with this conflict handling style or conflict handling approach. Now we'll start with another conflict handling approach or style, that is accommodating or smoothing. Okay, accommodating or smoothing. What happens in accommodating and smoothing? The willingness of one party in a conflict to place the opponent's interest above his or her own concern. Here, one party tried to place the opponent or opposite party's interest over his or her own conflict or his or her own interest. They want that the other party should win and they try to accommodate the interest or the goal of the other party, superseding their own interest and goal. It includes sacrifice one's goal to maintain the other party's goal. As we have discussed, they try to satisfy their other party's goals and not their own goal. They are ready to sacrifice their goal. It can also be effective for preserving future relations with other party. This technique, conflict handling technique, is used when we want to preserve future relations with the other party. We don't want to indulge in a continuous prolonged fight with the other party, and we want to maintain good relations with the other party. Then we'll try to handle the conflict by using this accommodating or soothing conflict handling style. So we will understand where it can be applicable. Okay, here we have to keep in mind that you should be putting the concerns of others before your own. This style usually takes place when you either simply give in or are persuaded to give in. This approach is effective when the other party is the expert or has a better solution. When you feel that the other party is having a better solution or an expert in that field, you try to accommodate his decision, his interest, because you know that the decision will be better if you follow or accommodate his idea. It can also be effective for preserving future relations with the other party. As I said, it can be used to preserve the future relation with the other party. Now we'll try to understand what are the appropriate situations in which we can use this accommodation or soothing style of conflict handling. First, you care less about the issue than the others. You are not much motivated by the issue. You care less about the issue. You feel that the issue is much more, the other party is much more concerned with the issue. Then you try to accommodate the other party. What happens next? You want to keep peace. You don't want to enter into any kind of fight, and you want to maintain peace. So in that condition also you try to accommodate the other party's interest. When you feel as though you are in the wrong, you sometimes feel that the thing which you are portraying is wrong. Okay, your arguments are wrong, and you feel that the other party is doing the right thing. Okay, then when you feel that you are in the wrong, you try to accommodate the other party in the decision process. You feel you have no choice but to agree with the other party's point of view. You feel that the other party's point of view is much more correct, and there is no choice but to agree with the point of view of the other party. Then what happens? You try to accommodate the other party's interest, goals, or decision. Finally, when continued conflict is detrimental, when preserving harmony and avoiding disruption are especially more important. When you see that there is continued conflict and that is detrimental, and you find that instead of entering into continuous conflict, it is better to preserve harmony and avoid disruption. These things are very important. Then you will try to find ways to accommodate and the other party, and will follow the accommodating or smoothing style of conflict handling. Now we will understand what are the various advantages and disadvantages. First, the advantages. It is seen these techniques does not require much effort. Okay, this technique does not require much effort, and you can focus on issues by ignoring unimportant arguments. You see that you can does not this accommodating and smoothing technique does not require much effort, and you can focus on more essential issues while ignoring unimportant arguments. You feel that if we follow this accommodating soothing conflict handling style, we'll be in a better position and we need not waste our time in unimportant arguments. Then is one of the advantages. Second, the situation can be handled simply while bringing harmony, creating goodwill, and providing enough time to find a permanent solution. The solution can be handled while bringing harmony and creating goodwill. The main aim is to bringing harmony and goodwill, and also give enough time to find a permanent solution. So meanwhile, you use this technique and then try to, in the long run, try to find a permanent solution to the problem. Now, there are certain disadvantages also attached with this. Okay, so what is the first disadvantage? If you fail to bring a balanced approach to smoothing, one party may take advantage of the situation since you are giving them more consideration. If you are not aware what you are doing, if you are not aware that the approach, this accommodating approach, is right to be used in the particular situation, and you are not using a balanced approach of smoothing, then what happens? One party may take advantage of the situation because you are giving that person or giving that party more consideration. So that person may try to hamper you and try to take advantage of a situation, that since you are giving more consideration to the other party. So you have to see that you follow a balanced approach while using this accommodating or smoothing style of conflict handling. Second, some of your supporters may not like your smoothing response and be turned off when there are many people in the conflict. And some of your supporters, some of the people who are supporting you, they may feel turned off because of your smoothing response, because they may feel that you had valid points to argue and to put forth your points, and you are not using those arguments, and you are just accommodating the other party's interest. So they will be turned off. They will feel that supporting is of no utility. Then finally, may negatively affect your confidence in your ability to respond to aggressive opponent. If you follow this accommodating or smoothing style of conflict handling situation over and over, what happens? It will undermine or negatively affect your confidence. What is in what way? In the way you respond to an aggressive component. You feel that your aggressive component you are not ready to face because you are always following this accommodating or smoothing kind of conflict handling situation. So these are the major disadvantages that you will come to face when you are using accommodating or smoothing kind of conflict handling situation. Now moving to another conflict handling situation, that is compromising or reconciling. Here you compromise or reconcile. What happens in this? In compromising and reconciling, a situation in which each party to a conflict is willing to give up something to resolve the conflict. It's a middle ground. Each party, both the opposing parties, each party is willing to give up something, to sacrifice something to resolve the conflict. They don't want to continue the conflict, they want to resolve the conflict, and each party is ready to forego, sacrifice, or give up something in order to resolve the conflict in perpetuity. In compromising, there is no winner or no reason. There is no clear winner loser. Why? Because both the party are losing something. So you cannot say both the parties have won or both the parties have lost. So it's a middle ground for both the parties. This requires a moderate level of assertiveness and cooperation. The cooperativeness and assertiveness level is moderate. Both assertiveness and cooperativeness is moderate because this is the middle ground. Okay, so what happens? This requires a moderate level of assertiveness and cooperation. Both ends, when both parties are placed against the middle in an attempt to serve the common good while ensuring each person maintains something of the original position. So both the parties, they give up something for the common good so that they can resolve the conflict. Also, both parties are able to retain something from their original position. What was their original position? They are not leaving everything. They are having something, okay, maintaining something from their original position. So they are ready to lose something, and they're also ready to retain some part of their original position. So this is seen in compromising and reconciling approach. Okay, if we follow this conflict handling approach. Now we have to see what are the situations where this compromising or reconciling approach will be appropriate. It is appropriate when it is more important to reach a solution than for the solution to be get. Here we follow this technique of conflict handling when we feel that it is important to reach a solution rather than to come to a best solution or a great solution. So here our aim is to first get to a solution rather than wait for greatness. Okay. Second, a deadline is quickly approaching. There is a deadline and we need to take a decision. Decisive action has to be taken. Then also we'll not indulge in conflict and we'll try to resolve the conflict by using this compromising or reconciling approach of conflict handling method. Then you are at an impasse. You, while continuing the argument, you feel that you have reached a point where there is no way you can move forward with the conflict. You are in a between in such a situation that the situation is impassive, you cannot pass that situation and you have to take a decision. So what happens then? You feel that since there is no way of moving forward, you will try to use compromising or reconciling way so that the conflict can be resolved and a solution can be come up, because there is no point, there is no reason of taking the conflict forward, because the conflict is not moving forward in any way, and you find that this is the best way if you want to resolve the conflict. Then we follow this compromising or reconciling method of conflict handling. Then you need a temporary solution till a more thorough and permanent solution to the problem can be found. You feel that you need to have a temporary solution first. And once you have this temporary solution for the moment, for the time being, later a more thorough, permanent, and concrete solution to the problem can be found. So you need a solution first. Later on, you will decide, we'll try to find a more concrete, a more permanent, a more thorough solution to the problem. Then also you will use this compromising or reconciling method of conflict handling. Finally, when both collaborating and competition do not work, when you feel that both by competing or by collaborating, you cannot come to resolve a conflict, when you find that, okay, I will not win this conflict or I cannot collaborate to form a conflict that is satisfying both the parties. So let me come to a situation, a compromising situation, where both the parties are ready to come up with a solution to resolve the conflict, where each party is ready to forgo or sacrifice some part of their original position and retain some part of their original position. So this is not a win-win situation. So this is a more of a lose-lose situation. There is no clear winner or loser. Okay. So now we'll study what are the advantages and disadvantages of utilizing this compromising or reconciling approach of conflict handling. Now, if we look into the advantages, it is seen that this technique brings quick results. It lowers stress and keeps all parties placated until a permanent solution or a final solution is reached. So what happens? It brings quick results. It reduces the stress because the conflict as of now has been resolved. But this is only a quick result or quick solution that has come. And the parties are placated or subdued because they are waiting to find a more permanent solution to the problem. So this is one of the advantages. So initially you get a solution and then you have time to again regain the various perspectives and then come up with a more permanent, thorough, and concrete solution. So this is one of the advantages. Second is you can solve a conflict and get enough time to find a better solution. It is similar to the first point only. You can solve a conflict immediately and also get a better time, enough time to come up with a better solution. So these are the two main advantages of using compromising or reconciling uh, methods of conflict handling. Okay, now there are certain disadvantages when we use this compromising or reconciling method of conflict handling or conflict resolution. What is that? First is, this technique does not generate trust in the long run. All parties remain unsatisfied and the conflict could resurface at any time. Here what happens when we try to find a solution for the time being and then we try to buy some more time until we get a more permanent solution, what happens? This does not generate trust in the long run. Okay, and all the parties remain unsatisfied because the permanent solution has not yet been decided. The permanent solution is still to be found out, and there is a chance that the conflict may resurface at any time, because if the conflict is solved in a permanent way, in a concrete way, then there is no chance of the conflict to reoccur or resurface. But when only a temporary solution is uh, you know we come at temporary solution, by using this compromising and reconciling method. And then later on, we try to find a more permanent solution. So whenever there are chances that this conflict the is in the dormant stage, but it will again resurface in the future. So this is the major disadvantage of using compromising or reconciling conflict handling or resolution technique. Second, does not contribute to building trust in the long run. Obviously, we have studied it does not build trust in the long run. Finally, may require close monitoring and control to ensure agreements are met. What happens here? You have to see, monitor closely, and control to ensure that the agreements are met. Since you are compromising, so you feel that the other party may try to get some more ground and will try to undermine your situation. So what you try, you have to keep a close watch. You have to control and monitor the situation. See that the whatever agreement in compromising by using this compromising technique is being used is properly followed, and what are the guidelines for coming at the solution or resolving the conflict is properly followed, and nobody is taking advantage of the situation. So there is a close monitoring and control that is required. Okay, and to see that the agreements, the way in which they have decided to resolve the conflict is properly met. Now coming to the last and uh, way of conflict handling situation, conflict resolving intention is collaborating or problem solving. It is considered one of the best ways to handle a conflict. What happens in collaboration or problem solving? A situation in which parties to a conflict each desire, both the parties to a conflict, each desire to satisfy fully the concerns of all parties. In collaborating or problem solving, both the parties try to satisfy full consents, complete consents of all the parties. They, in compromising what we're doing, they were foregoing certain things, but here they are not foregoing. Here they are fully satisfying the consents of all the parties. So then it can be solved as called as a collaborating or problem-solving way of conflict handling. Second, it sees that it includes attempting to find a win-win situation. In all the previous methods of conflict handling situation, one of them lost and one of them won. But this was a situation that it's a win-win situation that allows both the parties' goals to be achieved. So this is very important that both the parties' goals is properly achieved. And rather than finding a middle ground solution, you aim to find a solution that actually satisfies everyone. In compromising and reconciling, we're trying to find a middle ground, a mutual path which can be used, where both the parties are little bit satisfied and sacrificing certain part. But here you are not finding a middle ground. You're finding, your aim is to find a solution that completely satisfies the concerns of everyone, of all the parties involved. Okay. It includes attempting to find a win-win situation that attempts to satisfy the goals of all the parties involved. The process of working through differences will lead to creative solution that will satisfy both parties' concerns. So a creative thinking is required, and these creative solutions has to be come up, and all the differences has to be removed. If it is done and both the parties try to find a solution that is appeasing or satisfying the interest of or concerns of all the parties, then we can say we can use collaborating or problem solving method of conflict handling situation or techniques. Now we have to understand in which situations this collaborating and problem solving conflict handling technique can be used. So we have to find the appropriate situations where we can use this collaborating or problem solving. Okay. And the first one is when the objective is to learn. Here we try to learn. Okay. In the conflict, we try to learn something new. We use creative thinking to find a creative solution and try to learn something new. So then in this situation, we use collaborating or problem solving conflict handling technique. Second, when we try to merge insights or perspectives from people with different perspectives, so the various thinking process, perceptions of different people with different perspectives are tried to be merged. Okay, then in such a situation, this collaborative and problem solving can be used. Then there is an important relationship between the parties. The relationship parties between the parties is very important, and you don't want to undermine or deteriorate the relationship between the parties. So what you do, you try to maintain the relationship between the parties. Okay, mutually want that the parties relationship between will be strong. So how it can be strong? If we try to find a problem solving or collaborating method of conflict handling technique, then what? The final solution is too much important for anyone to be displeased. Our final solution is such that it is important for anyone, no one to be displeased. Okay, everybody should be pleased with the solution. You don't want to displease or undermine any other people. So then you will try to use this collaborating or problem solving method of conflict handling. Then the beliefs of multiple stakeholders must be represented. If the solution, while you take the solution, you have to see that the beliefs or views of multiple stakeholders has to be presented, has to be incorporated in the decision. The decision should portray the various beliefs, insights of the various stakeholders. Then in that situation, we have to use collaborative or problem solving method of conflict handling. Finally, if you want to distribute responsibility equally to all parties, if the decision requires to take a responsibility and you want that responsibility to be distributed among both the parties or all the parties in the involved in the conflict, then we will use collaborating or problem solving, because we don't want to take responsibility of the complete situation. We want to distribute this equally among all the parties. So we'll say, okay, we want that there should be distribution, and accordingly we'll try to find a solution that is important to all the parties, and every party to the conflict equally distribute the responsibility of the conflict, and they try to equally be responsible for the any kind of problem that is going to crop up. So in that situation also we will use collaborating or problem solving technique for handling of conflicts. Now there are certain advantages and disadvantages associated with collaborating and problem solving conflict handling technique. We'll understand that. So the main advantages, the first advantage, this is a real problem solving technique and gives a final solution to the conflict. So this is a real scenario. In real scenario, this technique can be used to find a real solution. Okay, here we are not finding a temporary solution, we are finding a permanent real solution to the problem. Okay, next what happens? It brings consensus, commitment, shared responsibility for the outcome. Okay, so there is consensus. Both the parties feel that both their concerns are being highlighted, both their concerns are being highlighted in the solution. So there is a consensus, there is commitment, and since both the parties are sharing responsibility, this is one of the major advantages of this kind of uh, conflict handling situation, this collaborating a problem solving kind of conflict handling situation, because there is consensus, commitment, and shared responsibility. So every person in the conflicting, who are in the conflict, together come up with consensus, commitment, and shared responsibility, and they overcome the various differences, undergo creative thinking, and come up with a solution that actually solves the problem. This technique creates a win-win situation. This technique is very good because this creates a win-win situation where both the parties feel that they have won, and both the parties feel that there is consensus or agreement in the decision that is being taken. It builds the confidence in the team. It builds your confidence in the team and earns your respect and establishes authority. If a person, if as a manager or a project manager, if you're able to find a solution, problem solving solution by collaborating, then it earns your respect in the group, because they feel that this person has authority and we can depend upon this person, and this person can actually take a decision which is win-win situation and will be real problem solving technique will be used to find a solution. So your respect in the team or the group increases. Okay, these are the various advantages associated with collaborating a problem. There are also certain disadvantages. We'll understand that. First, you can use this technique when you need a quick solution. Cannot use this because it takes time and effort. But in previous conflict handling situations, we have seen that it can be used to find a temporary solution, and then later more time can be taken to find a more permanent or complete solution. But this quick fix or quick solution, arriving at a quick solution is not possible. This is a major disadvantage because this requires the solution here represents the various different perspectives and insights of various people, various parties to the conflict. So it takes time and effort. So it cannot be done immediately. So it will take time. It will not give a quick solution. Second, you cannot utilize this technique with all conflicts, and it is generally used for conflicts which may severely affect a project. There are various situations where this conflict, this problem solving or collaborating technique cannot be used. It can be generally used in situations where it will seriously affect the project, and you feel that you cannot use other techniques of problem solving or conflict handling, and you feel that those that will completely undermine your project. The situation in those conditions, it is generally used so as to find a win-win solution where all the parties to the conflict are satisfied, so that although all of them work together for the growth and betterment of the company. Finally, what are the major disadvantages? It requires commitment from all parties to look for a mutually acceptable situation. Here, one party cannot work and the other party just relax. Here, commitment is required from all the parties to come up with a mutually accepted solution. What is mutually accepted solution? It's a win-win situation. Means what? Both the parties are happy with the solution, are in consensus, they share responsibility, and the solution is completely mutually acceptable. So it requires the commitment from all the parties. All parties have to take part in the decision making, have to take part in the conflict handling situation, and try to find a solution, a real life solution for the problem or the conflict. So these are the major disadvantages of if we use collaborating or problem solving. So in this class, we have understood what are the various problem solving, what are the various conflict handling techniques, strategies, or the conflict handling intentions which the conflicting parties can use to solve or resolve the conflict. Okay. I'll be sending you the notes digitally. If you have any problems, you can contact me. Okay. No need to panic and be prepared. Finally, thank you for your attention.